Alright, what in the heck is this doing? So, we've got Mind Stone into Hedron Archive into Metalworker Colossus, and then Dance puts things into play. Oven plus Colossus is a storm loop while Paradox Engine is out. Okay. And then we're using Dance to put things into play from the graveyard. Have you played this before, Crunchy? I don't know if this looks particularly capable of winning games of Magic. Like, Emry dies to everything. The mana base is fine. The mana base is 16 of each color. It's whatever. I guess I just don't. Is Dance really the best thing we could be doing? Actually, you know what actually sounds kind of good? What if instead of playing Dance, can we play on Burial Rites? You could play Refurbished technically. Leave Dance in, please. I mean, just like Chuki, like this just isn't it. This is too slow and bad for this format. Like, what are we dancing back? We're like casting the spell for like 6 mana in my deck that has no interaction. Crunchy. I said Chuki, I meant Crunchy. Like, and I have my deck has 0 card selection. It has 0 interaction. Like, yeah, like I don't like. Yeah, like why are like I guess I'm like, do you need 4 Aetherflux Reservoir? You kind of do, right? Because your deck doesn't have any card selection in it. Your literal only card selection is putting cards in the discard pile, and this isn't a card you can put into the discard pile, right? Like, you have to draw this, so like, you're filling up your graveyard so you can cast this card as your payoff, but you don't have a way to get to this card as your payoff. Yeah, and the graveyard is a super contested zone overall. Like, there's so many people. All right. I'm gonna queue up in a historic ranked best of 1 and get run over here real quick. Sure. Zero Sin, thanks for the 25 bucks. I'm gonna give you 3 games, Chuki. We'll play 3 games. Man, I can't keep this, right? It just doesn't do anything. All right. I mean, this hand looked nuts, right? This has gotta be everything the deck is looking to do. If we hit land 3 and this hand doesn't do anything, I can only assume that the deck's unplayable, right? This is like this deck is like a 5-card combo that has no interaction, requires you to spend a ton of mana. It can't win if your opponent's interacting with your graveyard. It can't win if your opponent is like killing your Emrys and stuff. Cousin Vin, thanks for the 40 months. Welcome back. Like there's a lot of things. I'm like, Elves is a great matchup, right? Like this is a good matchup to highlight. Oh, and look, we drew this, right? Like if we can't win this game, there's no way this deck is capable of winning games, right? Like everything has gone right here. Maybe we're gonna win. Maybe we're gonna do it, chat. Okay, so do I crack Hedron Archive here? Do I crack Hedron Archive here? I think so. Okay, this Mind Stone is free. Okie doke. Yeah, I got a 10-10. Like I did a bunch of stuff, but my stuff didn't do anything, right? I have one more turn. We're dead next turn. Okay, that's a dance. So if I do this, I can dance for X's 3, and I can bring back a couple of Mind Stones. I guess I can dance. We can dance for 4 and get back all of these. But then I don't have any. No, I have mana from them. Okay, so let's do this for 4. All right, I have a bunch of colorless mana now, but like, what am I accomplishing with this mana? So like, I'm like sitting here spinning my tires. I guess we'll draw a card, but I don't have any colors of mana to do anything with anymore at this point, right? Oh, is that lethal? Did we do it, chat? That's lethal, right? We have Infinite Storm and we hit Paradox Engine. %100% win rate. Dex confirmed busted. It did. It required a lot to go right. It required Dance of the Manse off the top. Into the oven, into oven Aetherflux Reservoir. Like our draw 2 had to be exactly oven Aetherflux Reservoir. We needed it to be double Demonic Tutor. And also worth noting, we were on the play that game. Had we bet on the draw, we would have lost. Okay. Our hand looks okay. I'm not actually sure that Oven into Emry is better than being able to ramp. Okay, this is another race matchup. Let's see if we can race. Maybe we can race and it'll be great. Ooh, there's a bunch of good hits there, chat. It's a bunch of good hits. Oh wait, they're not playing Angels, they've got bad cards in their deck? Oh chat, we have a real chance there's a bunch of bad cards in their deck. I now understand why people play bad combo decks in best of one. I don't know how our deck ever beats a sideboard card, but this seems fine. Wow, the audacity to interact with me. Can you believe our opponent, chat? Who do they think they are? Am I Hedron Archiving here? I think I'm Hedron Archiving here. We're actually getting close. We're actually getting close to comboing them again, right? So I get to do this, and then I get to do this. And then we have these two in the bin to dance back next turn. So the 40 months cousin bin. All right, can we do a thing? Okay, so I can do this. I need to dance for X's 4. I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that leaves me 2 left over, which leaves me 4 left over. I think they're dead. No, it only leaves me 4 left over. Oh, Colossus is +3? No, because I can't. I have to play Paradox Engine first, right? Because I only have 4 left over. I could do this. And then I could do this. And then we could do this. I can eat this too, right? My God, he can't keep getting away with it, chat. He can't keep getting away with it. Wrap it up, chat. 100% win rate. Can't lose. Please don't ruin this by playing a third game. Time for best of 3? How do I ever beat sideboard cards, chat? I don't know. I don't know that I have it in me to beat the purity of this by ruin the purity of this by having the sideboard. Is this deck actually good? It's probably fine in best of 1. I think we mulligan this, right? I guess it has. It just needs. Like am I supposed to keep this? It just doesn't do anything, right? This hand just like also doesn't really do anything. I guess Emry on 3 might find us something to do, but just like any reasonable hand out of anything proactive just runs us over. So you beat sideboard cards by queuing for best of 1, yeah. We're gonna get run over? I don't know, we're gonna find out. Every other game it looked like we were gonna get run over and then we won, so. This draw is what I would wager is the average draw out of this deck. We have no card selection. Yeah. Our opponent interacts with us once and we fall over. Ooh. My one weakness, people interacting with my cards. Statistically inaccurate from our sample size, yeah. It's neat. I'm glad our first 2 games involved us popping off. It's nice when a meme cooperates and it gives us the thing to start. It is interesting to note, and I assume this because my normal viewer base doesn't want to play best of 1, but we dropped off a significant number of viewers when we switched to best of 1. An interesting metrics thing to note. 3 people shot, 2 Capitol police officers, and either a victim or the shooter. It's another day in America. Oh, our opponent's playing a bad deck that doesn't pressure our life total, chat. God bless. I'm supposed to cast this from hand. Should have saved this to jump block, I suppose. We can win? How? I don't have an oven. How do I untap after Paradox Engine? You have to sacrifice 2 artifacts to get this back, chat. For people that don't, this isn't in my hand, this is in my graveyard. We can use Emry, sure. We still don't win though, right? We can put this on the battlefield, but then we're done from here. Infinite? How? What am I missing? How are we sacrificing this? I'm gonna time you out, and you can come back in a little while. Take a deep breath and like type a coherent thought before you type in my Twitch chat, please and thank you. Well, we didn't get Ulamog, I guess.
Opportunity to act rashly is a chance to fail.
It's probably some Zoomer thing that I'm too old to understand, I'd imagine. Alright, I mean, if this hits oven, we win the game, right? Alright, sure. Sure, 100% win rate. Oh no! Oh no! I made them creatures, so it's summoning sick. That's funny. Now that's funny. Yeah, if we do it for 5, we combo there.
Consider this a warning.
Yeah, no Ulamog again. We're good to go, chat. They're dead. They're dead and they don't even know they're dead.
Harness the elements.
Don't tell Scotty, chat. Scotty doesn't know. Scotty doesn't know. Oh wait, do I not have enough artifacts? Oh no, wait, this taps that untaps, right? So we're good. Oh, this is non-creature artifacts. That's extra funny. $75% win rate, chat. Crunchy, broke it. Snapped it right in half. I now fully understand why people play decks like this in Best of 1, though. This is much easier. When people don't actually get to play Magic against you, and you're just like this is just like, we're just like goldfishing against an opponent. Each to each their own, but like, man, this is fun, but it's definitely not quite Magic to me. So what was actually killing them there? We gain infinite life and Paradox Engine kills them. Yeah, it feels like we're like playing against Sparky. Yeah, it's a competitive solitaire is exactly what this has been. It's I raise my hand, or my opponent raises their hand. It looks like we're playing Runeterra. Yeah, that's actually exactly what it feels like. It feels like we're playing Runeterra, but with Magic cards. Easiest block of my life. Conscript, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. They're coming for our memes, chat. Ow, that's rude. this person having the audacity to interact with me? What is your problem, opponent? I think we're dead, right? And again, like, these types of games happen way more frequently in best of 3. Not only because people are going to bring in cards like Redain out of their sideboard against you, but also because your opponents are going to be able to mulligan against you and know which cards basically turn your deck off. Whereas, like, best of 1, we're just, like, blind keeping, and occasionally they have it. So, the thing about Runeterra Stormbreath Dragon is I think there's a real chance it's not that Runeterra is going through a rough patch so much as it's that their designers decided they want their game to be something different than it was before. I'm not really expecting Runeterra to change. It seems like they're pretty happy with things like Watcher and Leeson running around in their game, which is fine. If they want people to play a bunch of combo decks, like, more power to them. But it's just, like, not... Yeah, it feels like they're trying to figure out what they want their game to be. And it feels to me like more combos and stuff is what they want. Which is, like, you know, like I said, if that's what they're into, it's what they're into, but... I say combos are more viewer-friendly than creature interaction. No. It's actually, it tends to be harder to explain to people at home, like, what's going on with combo decks a lot of the time. I mean, like, this too, right? Like, what we're doing is, like, kind of novel. But I don't think these sleeves are so gorgeous. I don't think this is a... Is that a Felidar Guardian? Is that a Saheeli with a Felidar Guardian? Because that's kind of great. Yeah, we started with Blue-Green Flash today. It was really good. Yeah, they're probably a Neoform deck, I imagine. Which this format's probably great for Neoform. What Mystical Archive am I most excited for? From Captain Buckles. Thanks for 13 months. I don't know. There's a bunch of good ones. Their combo deck is also breaking off here, though, so God bless. Okay, so if we get another turn here, we could kill them next turn. Well, Metalworker Colossus is how we cast infinite spells, Helix Fossil. This looping with Witch's Oven is the combo. Oh, we need Reservoir still, right? Yeah, sorry, we've just, like, passively had, like, it's hard for me to put into words how lucky we've been in the games that we've won, because our deck is basically like a 12-card combo deck with no card selection. And we've just been, like, backdoor oopsing into it every single game, like all 8 combo pieces, with just, like, no selection or setup. He had 03 bush in my deck. I'm sure it was called Thorn or something. Wall of, is it the one that made mana? The 03, the wall that made mana? Belcher used to play it. Unless you're just talking about a literal 03. Tinder Wall. Yeah, that's Tinder Wall's the one that makes mana. It's a Belcher card. Old Belcher card. So I can, like, draw a card here, but that doesn't do anything, so I'll put some 10/10s into play. So the problem is I could, like, draw Reservoir. Oh, you're saying I could have drawn Reservoir before I played Emry? Well, I wouldn't have hit it, so that's fine. Alright, I assume we're dead here. I guess maybe they drew enough cards that they can't combo kill us. This is really unfair, chat. My opponent's 2-card combo deck that drew a bunch of cards won the game before my 6-card combo deck with no card draw won the game. Very unlucky on our part. I can't believe that their 2-card combo with card selection was assembled before our 6-card combo came together. We need to play this deck. Look on YouTube. We played the Neoform deck. We played the Neoform deck in best of 3. It's probably much better in best of 1 where people can't sideboard against you. Oh, I'm aware that we're dead this turn, Crunchy, if they don't have their haste card in hand. But they might have their haste card in hand, right? Oh, they could even cast their haste card from hand, right? Because they have 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so this gives them haste. This lets them attack twice, so we die. It makes a bunch of 3/3s, and it gets Combat Celebrant, and it gives them haste. Okay, we're snapping back to reality here. That's good. Anecdotally, our deck looked playable for a second there. I want to make sure we play enough games to get that notion out of people's heads. I mean, we have like 8 of our combo cards here, right? There are four of our combo cards. Oh yeah, growl me, daddy. Come on, opponent. Wow, the one draw that punishes me for not shocking on one. It's probably fine. Emry would have likely died anyways, and I think not taking damage against Growl is ideal. Our deck is like trying to draw Exodia. Yeah, basically. It's an apt comparison. Man, Growl's got to be absurd in this format. It's super consistent, and most of the best cards people have are sideboard cards. Yeah, step on that and bake me a pie. Land! We can dance if we wanna. We can bake ourselves a pie. We're gonna die to the Growl. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Boo do 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 do. You need Colossus, Oven, Reservoir, Engine. Yes, is that accurate? Colossus, Oven, Reservoir, Engine? You technically need one other artifact, right? Because you need Oven. Yeah, that's only 10. You need 11 mana, so you need like a Mind Stone. Yeah, I'll give you the 5th one for free. 4-card combo that depends on the graveyard is accurate, yeah. It's basically a 4-card combo. You probably have an extra artifact incidentally. Setiama, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel this afternoon. Tezzeret. Boston, thanks for the bits. Happy Friday. We need Ancient Stirrings, yeah? Wow! Wow! Can you believe the audacity of our opponent to interact with us, chat? I didn't sign up for best of one so people could interact with me, opponent. Have a little respect. I'm glad we front-loaded the variants in this set. I'm glad we at least had the good luck to start, even if the back half was the dumpster fire I was expecting it to be. We had some good games. These last couple against Angels and Girl is like exactly what I was expecting. Whir of Invention would be good. Whir of Invention is incredibly slow, chat. The fundamental problem with this deck from a purely competitive perspective is the deck is slow and requires a bunch of cards to... You can't be slow, not interactive, and need a bunch of cards to combo. Like there's just, it's too many boxes you fail to check. And you can't really make this deck interactive because if you try and make it interactive, your deck's going to be less consistent than it already is. But like Inventor's Fair doesn't really help us, right? Like you want to spend 5 mana and sacrifice a land to like try and go faster? It's like I said, I'm glad that we oopsed into some things, but I don't think like a deck like this, why I was hesitant when we started, I was like just trying to think like, when someone sends me a deck without a sideboard, I'm always like, okay, how do we warp this into best of 3? What do we want to do with it? How do our matches, I expect my matches to play out on average, and like, you just can't really fix the problems a deck like this has without fundamentally changing the deck. This might be a game where a 10-10 on turn 4 is good enough. We'll see. Yeah, it was fun. This deck's been fun. I don't think so. Like, my goal generally is to play best of 3 Magic. It's been an alright change of pace on a Friday. I don't think I'd want to play best of 1 all the time, but on occasion, it's funny to pop off with a deck like this. But in my mind, I'm just trying to think about, okay, how can I solve the things we just talked about? All right, chat, we won the game. Look at that. Deck's busted. Nice mono red deck. GG. Interactive, fast, consistent, you can only pick 2. Yeah, usually, well, it's not like you can only pick 2, you need to pick 2. I mean, so just like, to be blunt, the deck that you just linked, that's Ali's deck, that doesn't really solve any of the problems that this deck has. Like, the deck you just linked me is still slow and bad, and it's not interactive, and it's still a bunch of, like, it's doing, like, this random fair stuff, I guess, but it's not doing it particularly quickly, and it's not going to do it consistently because there's no card selection, and the deck's basically playing no interaction. It's got, like, Ugin, I guess, as interaction at 8 mana. Unfortunately, we get one out of our life gain here. The 10-10s might drag us across the finish line here. Eddie! Thanks for the half year. Welcome back. Yeah, I agree. I mean, like, I watch Ali stream in the evenings too a lot of the time. And like, when he plays decks like this, he plays best of 1, or if he plays best of 3, he tends to play constructed events instead of the latter, because the constructed events tend to be softer and easier for decks that are less competitive. Like, again, there's nothing wrong. The only wrong way to play Magic is if you're playing Magic in a way that you personally don't enjoy. There's nothing wrong with playing best of 1 or constructed events or looking for a less competitive environment to just do your thing. Nothing wrong with that. How to be a real Magic player? Yeah, there's a lot of gatekeeping in competitive communities. It's not even really restricted to Magic too. That happens in most card games and competitive things in general, where people are like, they like define like what's real in their game and what's not. And just like, games are fun. You should play games for fun. Like, if you're enjoying yourself, like, you're playing the game the right way. If you finish games of Magic and you had a smile on your face for a majority of them, that's a successful session. And that qualifies here, right? Like, we've been popping off and doing some neat things. We're not super consistent, but like, honestly, the fact that we're playing best of one means the fact that our deck's not super consistent feels less bad, because the games that we lose, we're done and out of it really quick, and we pop right back into the next one and try and high roll. Just hanging out, trying to high roll, people. I explicitly enjoy Magic by roping all of my turns so the match gets decided on time. Woo! I mean, the opponent could theoretically use Experimental Frenzy to block these 10-10s for the rest of the game, right? It's technically something that could happen. I had infinite with Emry. Chat, you need a way to sacrifice the Colossus. For people that are asking, for people that are wondering. Mindstone sack. I didn't have enough mana. Chat, I need... So if I Paradox Engine, I had 8 mana total. Paradox Engine would be 5 of that 8, and then it cost me 2 to sacrifice this, and then I'm 1 short to recast it and untap things. Hey, thanks for being here, Trench. I'm glad you're enjoying it. No, it does not have self-sack. Oh, I could have cast this from the graveyard too, right? I should just put a third 10-10 into play there. Yeah, I should have just cast this with this. What if I could pick this up and cast it by sacking the Mind Stones, right? Right? I'm glad we got one fair 10-10 beatdown game in. Hit the smorgasbord here. The true range of what we're doing. The Aetherflux Reservoir is just being like the honest life gain here in this matchup. Pretty sweet. You had 9 mana. I didn't have the 5th land. I drew the 5th land off of sacrificing the archive. Yeah, I think Cube's fun. Cube tends to be a lot less board stally than there's less board stalls and less power stuff in Cube. How long is the Cube up for, by the way? That went up today, right? How long do we have that for? Oh, sweet. It's up until the set release. That's perfect. Yeah, the random audio twerk outs are because RTX voice isn't perfect. It's almost summertime though, which means it's not going to be optional because my air conditioning is going to be running again. Which you definitely don't want that hum. It's an RTX feature. Don't disrespect the robots. Land. If we hit a land there, I think we would have raced them. We've assembled. We are so good at having our 4-card combo in this deck, chat. I think if we hit the land next turn, we might still race them. Alright, I assume we're dead now. I don't think we could miss for 2 turns. I think we could probably miss for 1 turn on the play here, but 2 turns. I appreciate your political commentary and general rationality. It helped me see past lazy libertarian perspective and realize what I'm really against is greed, corruption, and bigotry. God bless you, Drooping Fig. God bless you being open-minded enough to re-inspect your own beliefs. As someone who went through his own transition of being raised conservatively to thinking he was a libertarian during college to being a full-blown frothing at the mouth dirty leftist. It's definitely an experience. Being able to take long, hard looks at the things you've been raised to been told are correct and realize that that really doesn't work out that way is tough. We did confirm. So CGB, not only are signups open for the next Hoaglandia Open, but CGB is confirmed to be my second commentator for that event. He decided he was excited to invest some time in learning historic and poke at the mystical archives. So that's great. Hey, it looks like the opponent's playing black artifacts. The fact that Emry missed there feels bad. Can we make a command for Covert Go Blue and link his YouTube channel for folks that are unfamiliar? Alright, so I think we're just supposed to, like, twiddle with this Mind Stone here. No, I like the Black Splash deck for sure. The black artifact deck we played a few times I think is super reasonable. I'm 1 year older and not a ton wiser, but gosh darn, it's been a heck of a Hoaglandia Blur's day. Happy 14th month of March, Snapkeep. I believe we have died. right, let's get one more win on the scoreboard, and then we'll call it a day with our best of one roulette machine, I think. And play some near automata. Thanks for the submission, Crunchy. I'm sorry I couldn't really do anything with this in best of 3. This has been fun to dork around with. Like I said, I don't think best of 1 is something I'd want to do all the time, but it's fine format to blow off steam with at the end of the week. Feels amusing, man. Yeah, sweet. 2 into 3 into this. We're on the draw. I think that just sounds much worse than the regular deck avocado. When I try and build decks and fix them up and tune things, I try to not make them things that I feel are just worse versions of established decks. Hey, thanks for the Prime Trench. Welcome back. I think our opponent's got more soul than we do, chat. I think I'm gonna be a little scarred by this game. Yeah, their username doesn't check out. Tireless Tracker playing Mono Red. It's like when Jun Guy plays a Hallowed Fountain on turn 1, you're just like, you. Let's do it. This hand can only be better if we were on the play. It's a pretty nice extra card to add to the hand. Opponent made no play on the first turn. That's good for us. Nice. There's an engine. We've had a couple of turn 5 kills, Crunchy. Not a particularly aggressive start here. Hoping to fade Elvish Archdruid next turn. Not going to attack with the Supplier, because if they attack, I want to chump block. It's gonna be a yikes for me, dog. It might be wrong to play this. It might be right to prioritize getting Emry into play this turn. Only using 2 of my mana this turn seems bad, though. So next turn, I can go Reservoir. I can go Archive into Reservoir into Emry if I draw land. I don't know that we're going to get a turn 5, though, here. I guess I can go Reservoir into Emry, gain a life, hope to... So we do this, we gain 1, and then next turn they're gonna attack us, and we're gonna need to block. We're gonna have to jump with everything. All of their elves are gonna be 6/6s. Yeah, we're only at 18 here. I gain 2, yeah, that's true. I think I have to double jump though, right? What's going on, Cyanide? For the entire year, appreciate it. I'm curious, Bluefire. Can you give me an example of a libertarian candidate policy that you think the core libertarian policy works better on than, like, what the Democrats claim to stand for? Whenever something like that comes up and I ask for policy specifics and we get into the nitty-gritty of it, it usually ends up, unless there's someone that's just like, I just want to deregulate everything like an idiot, like... Regulation, pulling out of foreign wars and also guns. What is... It's funny that sad, depressing that you mention guns on a day where there was a shooting in the Capitol. But, like, the true core libertarian policy on guns is no regulation, right? Which is just, like, very, very silly. Yeah, two Capitol police officers were injured, and then the shooter or another victim. I don't believe it's been confirmed yet. Well, if you're not for zero regulation, then you don't really agree with the libertarian policy on gun control. Because the core libertarian governing principle is regulation is bad. Whereas, like, what Democrats want to do in terms of gun regulation is a huge spectrum. Well, I mean, I'm not debating the libertarian buff. So, like, they're, by their own admission, it's not, so, like, this is why it's important to talk about the details, is because when you ask someone, okay, well, what do you agree with there? It comes down to, oh, you're not actually a libertarian because you don't actually want full deregulation. That's the libertarian policy on gun control, is no regulation because regulation is bad. Kyle, thanks for the 27 months. It's like, a lot of the time, and like, ideally that's what politics would be about, right? Like, someone wouldn't just say, I'm a conservative. I would say, like, that's like, when someone tells me they disagree with, positions on healthcare, my normal question I like to ask people is, okay, do you think people who get sick should go bankrupt because a family member got sick? And most reasonable people don't say yes to that question. Yeah, there's some really shitty scumbags out there that are like, yeah, I think if someone's unlucky and their kid gets sick, they should lose their house and everything that they own and they should have nothing left. Like, yeah, there's some really terrible people that have that opinion, and those people you can't work with. But, like, most people are like, yeah, people shouldn't go bankrupt if they get sick. And, like, there's varying degrees of, like, how do we stop that from happening? And that's a real discussion that you could have, is, like, what's the ideal way to implement people not going bankrupt because they or a family member got sick? But, like, and that's why the devil's in the details, right? Why that nuance is a lot, is important, as opposed to just the tribalism of, oh, I'm this or that. I guess this technically sets up this, maybe. Democratic candidates that say all guns should be removed from civilians, and it would come. So, but here's the thing. Your position there is illogical, Bluefire. You said there's Democratic candidates that should be all guns removed from civilians, and when I would vote for Gary Johnson, I don't think there would be zero regulations. So, like, you're logically inconsistent there. You're saying you don't expect Gary Johnson to be a full libertarian and deregulate everything, but you expect the most extreme Democratic position to be the one that happens, and that's a bad faith position to come from, right? That's an incredibly bad faith position to come from. That you accept, okay, this extreme's not going to happen, but over here, the most extreme is possible, and I'm going to say the most extreme happens here, so I'm against them. if I'm being honest, I don't even really. I'm saying when you compare a specific Dem has, sure, but that's one person in an entire party. To say that the generic Democratic platform on gun control is nobody should have any guns anywhere in the country, that's objectively false. That's objectively false. That is the average position and the position of most people in the party. It's wrong. I think it was Beto during the Democratic primary that told people they were coming for your guns. I'm pretty sure it was Beto O'Rourke that has a quote about that. And I don't know offhand. There are many more libertarians that believe in full deregulation than Democrats that believe in universally banning guns. Almost assuredly. Almost assuredly that is true. So, you can and should vote on specific candidates that you agree with, but the problem with that position, Alec, and this is where it comes down to where the polarization in the United States kind of happens. If you look at a pure candidate perspective and voting record and what they do when they're elected politicians, go find me the Republicans that actually vote differently when it matters. Go, like, there's different anti-Trump Republicans and Republicans like Mitt Romney that hold their nose up while simultaneously voting in line with the GOP. Or Mitt Romney, who gets express permission from the rest of his party to vote to convict Donald Trump to set himself up as something of a I'm not a Trumper, even though his vote didn't matter. Like, yeah, I'm also pretty sure Beto's position was we're coming for your AR-15s. Yeah, exactly that. There's like the one, there's an idiot out of Illinois that's from a Chicago suburb who's like, he's the anti-Trump person in Congress. But like every time like he voted against the American Recovery Act and like when push comes to shove, he votes in line with them every time. Whereas like, and then to give a counterexample, the range that the Democrats have, you know, like Manchin versus Bernie Sanders, that's a huge range, right? Manchin versus Ilhan Omar or Ocasio-Cortez. Like how those people vote is different, even though they both have D's next to their name. So you can and should look at individual candidates, but you should also be aware of when you look at how those people are voting within the party, that there isn't a meaningful range inside of the Republican Party, and there is this big range inside of the Democratic Party. That's what reality has shown us is the case. That's just the objective truth. This doesn't impact us, right? That's true. If they have 9 lives, we just lose, right? So I have 6 mana total here. And like this is the problem with our deck, right? I guess if we mill into an Exemplar. Oh, I still don't have Reservoir, right? Yeah, so like even if I find a Colossus here, I can't really do anything with it, right? What's going on, Busy Dragon? Yeah, and like here, you know, we put a bunch of stuff in the bin, but what are we doing with it now? I guess we get to cycle through these and draw some cards. Okay. Well. None of these are the dance I wanted for Christmas, chat. Even if we find dance, I don't have Colossus yet, right? We are taking a lot of game actions. And I can't actually sacrifice this because I need X's 4 next turn if I draw dance. Alright, so there's Colossus. So I can take a bunch of game actions now. But that doesn't do anything, right? It would just give them a bunch of life with their authority of the consoles. I could give them infinite life. Is accurate. Okay. This means we can do it next turn, right? I'm really confused why they got another Solemnity and didn't get what's it called? 9 lives. Does 9 lives take white? It could have been a misclick. 9 lives takes white though, right? Okay, our opponent has died. So again, this is the loop. You sacrifice 2 foods. You cast this for free and untaps the oven. You gain life with Aetherflux Reservoir. We are going to be here for a second because our opponent's getting 3 triggers every time we do it. Yeah, we're probably going to have to blast them for 100, yeah. The fact that we can't auto-yield to these authority the council triggers is real annoying. I can click the Resolve All button. Hopefully our opponent sees the writing on the wall and just concedes here. Yeah, remember, every spell we cast gives us an extra life off of it. Opponent's rope going down and ours isn't as nice. They play magic they can't read. Oh, thank goodness. We actually only need to do it once, right? God bless. God bless us, everyone. Because a lot of the people that see the bills being passed by Republicans about our voter suppression windbaggers have literally never waited in a line to vote in their life. As someone who's largely always lived in predominantly white upper middle class neighborhoods or middle class neighborhoods, I have never stood in line to vote in my life. I've been voting every 2 years for, a decade and a half now almost, and I've never waited in line to vote. Well, to be fair, we started at Plat 2 and we finished at Plat 3. So, to give a wrap up, my take is, I think my original take at the start was accurate. This deck's not consistently linear. It doesn't interact. It's got a lot of moving parts in it. So, I think this is kind of funny to pop off at best of one with. We had some turn 5 kills. You could turn 4 kill on an absolute nut draw, but definitely not something that's going to translate well to best of 3 when people can sideboard and mulligan consistently to pick you apart. Pieces of removal, artifact interaction, graveyard interaction, all those types of things are going to give you a hard time. We got redeemed a couple of times and that felt bad out of the green-white deck.